Boozed and Confused is a comedy and weird topic podcast. Adult language may be used, probably by me. While our episode topics may be educational in nature, we are not responsible if your children start dropping the F-bomb to their kindergarten class. Listener discretion is advised.
Oh, I did it first.
Yeah, you just got in there. Actually, your hey is going to be
Like
probably cut off when I listen back
like
to
an
those.
A.
Yeah. We'll see. I'll leave it in. I'll allow it.
I did it.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, I did it.
We've missed you a little bit. We've been a little inconsistent. I hope everybody's Thanksgivings were great.
Mine was awesome.
Ours wasn't.
Mine was fantastic. Thank you very much.
Yeah, great. So, yeah, at least yours was fine. Mine was not.
No, it was a shell of itself. It was empty and full of sadness.
Sad eats.
Yeah.
Well, we're back, and we'll just see what we can do from here on out.
We'll
Just
see how
no
many
expectations.
How many ear infections we'll get between now and next week.
My name is Carolanne.
Yeah, this is Matt.
And this is Boozed and Confused. We're back for a little bit. Mini hiatus every now and then. That's when you know
boozed.
shit's going down with sicknesses in the house.
Yeah. I'd say like a half boozed, fully confused.
Yeah, completely confused. So much so that I'm drinking like an herbal tea today instead of a boozy beverage because, I just need to de-stress a little bit.
Yeah, but you jump the shark there. That's usually later on.
Oh
in
shit,
housekeeping.
you're right. I'm just out of it. All right,
You're
let's
out
get
of
into the
practice.
housekeeping before we really throw back old school. We're on all your favorite social medias for now. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter,
X.
for now. Easiest way to reach us is DMing on Instagram. And if social media is not really your thing, and it's not really my thing anymore either, you can send us an email at boozedandconfusedpodcast@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. Either you could tell us how shit we are, which we know. You could send us a spooky story. You could send us anything. No dick pics. No dick pics, please.
You can send those to me. You could you could say like I liked
Attention, Matt.
I liked you all better when you were off.
Yeah. We liked you better when you
weren't around.
were gone for months. Yeah. So that's that. Second is if you, for some godforsaken reason, like this shit and you want to support us, the best way that you can do that is by leaving us a review, subscribing, following, wherever you get your podcast, whatever the fuck you could do on whatever platform you listen on. And you could take a screenshot of it. You could send that to us. And we'll send you some Boozed and Confused stickers for free in the mail.
Like a whole stack.
A whole stack. We've got so many stickers. I found more.
We have no room in this house.
What's the last one? What are you drinking?
You should go first because you already started.
Yeah, I already started. So I'm drinking an herbal tea from a company called D&Tea.
What does the D stand for?
Dungeons.
Oh.
And tea.
No,
So
I know
like
this.
D&D, but D&T. And this one is I can't remember the name of it.
Shadowfell
Yeah.
Short Rest or
Yes.
Long Rest?
Short rest, I think.
Shadowfell Short
So
Rest.
It's nice because it's got like elderberry and it's just like a nice non-caffeinated herbal tea. So yeah,
It's very fruited.
I've aged 82 years in between pod episodes, and now I'm a 152-year-old woman.
Just like watching birds.
Just watch birds and read books.
You've got the police on speed dial.
Yeah. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking a creamy, smooth pint of Guinness.
That sounds so refreshing.
It actually is.
Yeah, I
It
imagine.
is the staple.
Yeah, of course.
It is the staple
Of course.
of all the drinks.
We're kicking it back to a little bit of an old school, maybe like I don't know, some of our original shit that we would start with back in the day. We're gonna do a good old fashioned cryptid.
It's what's in right now.
Yeah,
You know?
so hot right now.
Going retro.
So hot right now. This is one that I had not actually heard of until recently, which is what piqued my interest to do it for today's episode. So we're going to talk about the lizard man, but not just any lizard man. It's the lizard man of Scape or Swamp.
Oh, see, I thought you'd go with a more like a son of Mothman.
Oh, no. Here's all the lizard people that I work with in corporate America. No, it's for another episode. Yeah, this one, we're going to take a little bit of a journey. Join us. We're going to South Carolina. Lee County, South Carolina, to be exact. Where is that? I don't know. Look at a map.
Somewhere in the South.
Somewhere over there.
Somewhere in the South.
We're also taking a little bit of a time travel back in time. We fired the sound guy, so you've just got our mouths.
Times are hard.
Yeah. A sound guy in this economy? All right, so we're going back to July 14th, 1988. You know what would be funny is if we had those like old school broadcaster.
They didn't even sound. No, they didn't sound like that.
Transatlantic news voices.
Like Orson Welles.
Yeah.
The aliens have come.
Back in July 14th, 1988. That sounds like a little bit too... That's too much.
The very first contact of the lizard man.
New pod idea. We're going to scrap everything we've done over the last 3.5 years, and we're doing this, whatever this is.
Ah, it's a new stick, see?
We'll get 1 subscriber, and it will be me. That's all. That's fine.
Look, I like this thing, all right? And this isn't for everybody. So if you come, it's because you like the thing we're doing.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so July 14th, 1988, Lee County Sheriff's office gets a little ring-a-ling on the phone.
On their landline.
And there's report that a car was damaged overnight while parked in front of some owner's house in Browntown. Browntown? Not very creative.
Please just say Brownton.
Brownton? Okay.
No, Brownton.
What's...
We're in 1980 South Carolina.
God, all right, you're not wrong. So this is outside Bishopville, South Carolina. So the police go out to investigate it, right? And the police report that the car has tooth marks and scratches with hair and muddy footprints left behind. I want to know what the footprints looked like.
I want to know what the mouth prints looked like.
Yeah. Yeah, like how big are we talking here?
How is anything biting a vehicle?
That's a good point.
Especially those vehicles, they were built different.
Yeah, they were built different. I mean, that's true. You ever see those videos though of the bears that are like just ripping cars apart and shit?
Those
like
are cocaine bears.
Yeah. Those bears are on something. So the Sheriff Liston Truesdale, said that this was the start of various claims that like coalesced into a story about a lizard man in the swamp.
A lizard man. Raising from the swamps.
Oh god, if only we had like the Scooby-Doo transition music, between scenes, that'd just be so much better.
Jinkies.
So prompted by the news of that vehicle damage, there's the 17-year-old who's going to be like the star of today's story. His name is Christopher Davis, and he reports to the sheriff that his car was damaged by a creature that he described as green, wet-like, about 7 feet tall, and had 3 fingers, red eyes, skin like a lizard, snake-like scales, 2 weeks prior. Okay. Also, just to note, he like does this little drawing that you can see.
It's just like a stick figure. It's like a snake with arms.
I'll say that in the show notes, there's a link to a YouTube video that kind of combines a lot of the interviews around this from the time. So definitely worth checking out. There's a screen grab of the picture that he drew. Have y'all ever seen the video of the leprechaun in Alabama?
How did I know you were going to go to the leprechaun? If you see a leprechaun, say yeah.
This amateur sketch, really similar vibes of the amateur sketch, just really, really has a special place in my heart. So Davis says he's driving home one night from working the night shift at some fast food restaurant, and his car gets a flat tire, and he's fixing it, or just after fixing it, he sees this creature walking towards him. So he gets in his car, he starts to drive, but the creature is on top of the car at this point, like very, very soon after he starts driving. So he slams on the brakes. The creature rolls off of the car. Davis has, quote unquote, enough time to escape from here. And because of these claims, the newspapers and the media just go absolutely wild. I think at some point, this story is like national news, right? Because he's saying like Lizard Man. So naturally, like any good local business would do, they start selling Lizard Man shirts and like other merch. And the local chamber of commerce encouraged the media as like, this is good for the community, like tourism, you know, like where is it on the East Coast with Mothman? There's like a statue. There's like a whole tourism around Mothman, but I can't remember where.
Ooh, I want to say like somewhere like Pennsylvania.
Ooh, that does sound familiar.
Does that sound right?
That sounds very familiar. I'll have to look it up.
Correct
after
us if we're wrong.
Yeah, which we probably are. I don't know.
If this statue's eyes don't glow red at night, then they've completely missed the point.
I'll have to look it up. I know that it exists somewhere.
It's like Lizard Man destroyed my car and snogged my wife.
And all I got was this t-shirt. You see? All right, anyway. So the newspaper and media publicity increase. Then what do you think what happens after, like, you get all these reports coming in?
Ooh, you're going to start getting some false flags.
Yeah, probably.
You're going to start getting some false calls.
But you also get a bunch of people who are like, wait, me too.
Kids wearing costumes, running around being like little,
you think their moms are
people.
Making them Lizard Man costumes?
Oh, absolutely.
In the 80s?
I'm sure it was the costume of the year.
Yeah, that's actually man, we should look that up.
Popular costumes. 1988. No, 1987. Pirate. 1986. Ninja. 1988. Lizard person.
Lizard Man of Skateboard Swamp.
1989. Brett Favre.
So yeah, there's more reports that start coming in because people are seeing this in the news and the media. And so the area then becomes this like big tourist attraction for visitors and Swamp Man hunters. The little hunters. So then a local radio station, WCOS, says, you know what? If anybody can capture this creature alive, we'll give you a $1 million reward. That's a lot of money.
Look, that in 1980s money,
yeah,
that's at least $2 million.
That's yeah. I haven't looked at the inflation calculator, but I'm sure it's something like that.
If you could buy a house in 1980 something for like
$25,000 and a pistachio,
you're buying the whole family a house,
yeah,
and a car.
Yeah,
you could live with Lizard Man. Give him a little heat lamp.
Keep company with Lizard Man.
Chain him up to the wall, but give him enough space to feel some freedom.
Oh my God! You could repurpose the little lamps that you have for like your indoor plants during winter time, so they don't get sad, and that could be for Lizard Man.
Your lizard lights.
Brutal. Yeah. So August 5th, this airman named Kenneth Orr is stationed at Shaw Air Force Base. He files a police report alleging that he had encountered the Lizard Man on Highway 15. He too had an encounter. And he says not only did he have an encounter, he shot and wounded it. That's a lot. That's a big escalation. So he not only has this story, he then presents scales and a small quantity of blood as evidence.
I shot the bastard in the shoulder.
So he recants his account 2 days later because he's arraigned for unlawfully carrying a pistol and misdemeanor offense of filing a false police report. So he's like, you know what? Just kidding. No, I take all of it back. He hoaxed the sighting in order to just keep stories about Lizard Man in circulation.
Our town is dying.
What's also crazy to me is that you couldn't just... Like, did he go to such great lengths about the lie because he wanted to ensure that it would keep the media hype alive? Or do you think, like could he have gotten away with rehyping the media with a much smaller lie that wouldn't have counted in a misdemeanor?
Like that guy who said his kid flew away in a balloon.
Oh, my
was just
God.
like hiding in the attic.
Yep.
That's a good question. You know, this is probably some, like, really, like, big small town conspiracy, like the mayor the mayor's like, y'all don't know how much money I'm about to spend on infrastructure. We need Lizard Man to be back and dangerous.
Oh,
maim some children.
Yeah, I really want to look up like Lizard Man 1988 merch, especially if like the Chamber of Commerce was in on it too. I want some Lizard Man merch.
I think Chicago needs some good wild creature stuff.
I mean, we have Mothman sightings.
Sure we do, but
It's
Mothman is as old as
it's not unique to us.
universe. We need something new and fresh.
We've got good ghost stories.
Again, we
Bachelor's Grove,
do.
Resurrection
We
Mary.
absolutely do. We need something new and fresh though. Something that'll get the kids excited.
Oh God, what would that even be?
I mean, we've already got what? We've got John Wayne Gacy. He's dead.
Yeah, no, he's definitely dead.
A copycat would be lame.
It would be lame.
We need something fun and that just
Ghost
screams.
of Hot Dog Boy.
Screams Chicago. Yeah, there we go. The hot
Something
dog
like
statue.
That? Yeah, something.
Come to life.
Anything. We'll think on this. We'll let you guys know. You'll
It
see
can't
us in the
move
news.
if you observe it, but if you blink, don't blink.
Yeah, don't blink. So that recanted story came in August, and then kind of at the end of the summer, all these other reports just gradually decline. So what do you think, based on the description, what do you think the sightings were likely to have actually been?
Oh yeah, well you see, I'm not paid to think. What would I assume is a lizard person, maybe in the dark? This is bipedal, correct?
Yes.
It was a quadruped.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so bipedal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, lizard-like. 1980s.
Mm-hmm.
My gut says O.J. Simpson. I don't think it's O.J. though.
No, I don't think it is either.
I don't think it's O.J.
I don't think it's O.J.
He was still doing stuff.
He's probably busy at the time.
What would it be? Like a very large otter?
That's a big fucking otter. What did
really-
they say? 7 feet?
Couple of otters,
7 feet
couple
tall.
of otters,
A couple of
standing
otters
on
in
each
a-
other's
in a s-
shoulders
in a
like a suit. No, what would look like a 7 foot tall lizard person? You got me.
Well, local law enforcement seems to think that it was a bear, which, you know what? A bear, I've seen.
All the hair makes sense.
Yeah, I've seen videos of bears standing on their back legs. You
They're
know,
some big boys.
they are some big boys. But I guess maybe if you think about the paws, maybe the 3 fingers thing doesn't really track.
Yeah, bears tend to have more than 3 fingers, don't they?
Usually. I don't know. I haven't looked at a bear paw in a while though.
And then again, these always seem to be like in the dark.
Yeah. It's
Just
always
like a really aggressive.
the darkest county road that you could find. No light pollution for miles.
Just like a really aggressive bear.
Yeah.
On some narcotics. Who knows?
So fast forward just a little bit to a very recent year that also is very far away. 2008.
That
What
was
a
like
good
5
year
years.
that was.
5 years ago. 5 years ago.
So CNN mentions the Lizard Man legend in the story that they have about a couple in Bishopville who reported damage to their vehicle, including blood traces.
You gotta test that blood.
Yeah.
Test that blood.
They did test the blood, and you know what they found?
It was a guy.
It's a big fucking guy.
It was a guy.
No, it was actually from a domestic dog, but maybe it was like a coyote or wolf or something. So what, like a fucking like pit bull? What kind of animal is biting cars like that?
I have seen a video of a dog of sorts rip off a guy's bumper.
That's crazy.
I've
to
seen
me.
a video.
All right, so maybe that would track.
But it was a more modern car, and
Yeah,
most
yeah.
modern cars are just like covered in plastic
just
anyways.
shit. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I'm still kind of thinking that was just a cover up to hide Lizard Man. Yet again.
It's those dang liberals trying to save Lizard Man.
Yeah.
He's misunderstood.
He is misunderstood. Yeah. So 2015, a little bit more of a fast forward. Local television station called WCIV has photos and videos that they claim to have been Lizard Man. taken by a guy named Jim Wilson and some other unidentified individuals.
It's just the Bigfoot walking footage. It's just like a snake's head photoshopped on it, like really poorly tracking the walking body.
And then again in August of 2017, South Carolina Emergency Management Division sends a humorous tweet that says, regarding possible paranormal activity during the solar eclipse that passed over the area, hinting that Lee and Sumter County should remain vigilant for sightings of lizard man. I'm glad that this is a joke to you, South Carolina Emergency Management Division.
Lizard man's stuck in the 80s. Yeah, so I'm a joke to you. Wait till I come back. Wait till I come back. See?
So there is this investigator named Ben Radford. He's pretty skeptical about the entire thing, particularly about Chris Davis's story from the very beginning, the 17-year-old. And he says that the details of Chris Davis's story just don't hold up under scrutiny. However, that sheriff that I talked about before, who I believe to be highlighted in that video that I talked about, the sheriff said that Davis's story never wavered. He said like he was like super consistent, no fault, no nothing in Davis's story. And then Radford says like, oh, wait a second. Wait a second.
No. This is like the boy who cried lizard man. But then the cop was like, I was 2 weeks from retirement. And I gotta come back.
To solve lizard man? And he still works there to this day. So after weeks and months and all these repeated tellings, the investigator says that the details changed so many times, from the creature having scales to the creature being packed with mud to how far away Davis was from the creature when he first saw it and whether or not it attacked the car. So then back to those old country roads, Radford is like, Davis, how could you see the details of Lizard Man at 2 a.m. when there's no lighting in this heavily wooded area and the moon is not bright? I like and the moon is not bright.
And the moon not bright. Look, what kind of prick journalist is like, oh, a cryptid? Well, I don't think that's real. It's like, okay, like nobody does.
Okay, first of all, speak for yourself. I am now Lizard Man's biggest supporter in Chicago, probably. Maybe. Top 5.
Next week, we're inviting
Lizard Man onto the pod.
To tell a story, but we need a translator for it. It's just going to be hisses and like tongue things.
I have to put some, probably some towels down. I imagine he'll be a little wet.
Does he have to be a damp lizard? You can be a dry lizard. I just imagine
that
you can be a dry-ass lizard.
Of a swamp. Does he maintain the wetness?
I'm not a lizard guy.
I'm gonna have to look up a lot of these details in a little bit.
What do lizards be like?
Great question. I'll ask ChatGPT. So then the other questions that came up from this were like, if Davis actually saw the creature in the shadows while he was closing the trunk of his car, Davis still then actually had time to get back in the car and take off, but Davis says that the creature was so fast that it caught up to the car when he was doing 40 miles an hour. You know, Mr.
That's a car's top speed in 1980, isn't it?
Mr. Investigator Man, all right? Maybe he is just a fast cryptid. All right? Who are you to discount Lizard Man? So then Radford says that the polygraph that was administered to Davis was actually just a publicity stunt by a company called Southern Marketing Inc., who was arranging personal appearances for Davis during that time frame.
And the economy was booming. And things were good.
Everyone buy Lizard Man shirts. So another issue that kind of came up is that there's no photographs of the damage to Davis's car, which provide evidence that anything happened at all. So what is he saying, that the police even went out and fabricated the reports? I imagine if the police took a report that there was damage, there had to be damage or something, right?
We have to find the mayor of this town.
I have so many questions.
Period.
Hi, I know that this was Chuck's watch 40 years ago, but
you're probably on death's bed.
If you're alive,
riddled with
I need to talk to your
Alzheimer's and
grandchildren.
dementia. But can you tell us about Lizard Man?
Anything.
It's all coming back.
He is Lizard Man. The mayor is Lizard Man. We've solved the case. There
You
we
rip
go.
off the mayor's mask, and it's actually just a bunch of snakes.
So newspaper accounts give like really widely varying descriptions of the damage of the car. So in one local paper, Davis is quoted as saying he escaped with no more than a scratch to his fender, which like doesn't match the original account. And then Radford, that investigator, says that Davis's report is quite literally incredible, riddled with both implausibilities and impossibilities. It may be sincere or it may be a hoax, but in either event, no hard evidence of the creature has been found. You know what, Radford? You're probably really fun at parties, my guy.
This is some really low-lying fruit for a guy like this.
Yeah, no kidding. So then another investigator, Alicia Lutz, suggested that what Davis saw that night was actually, are you ready for this?
Oh, I'm so ready.
A local butterbean farmer named Luscious Elmore, who was guarding his shed that night after recent thefts.
Oh, classic Luscious.
Elmore claimed he heard a car tire blow out and, thinking it was thieves, walked out to the road to confront them, and then said when Davis saw him, he screamed and took off.
But not before I bit that guy's fender.
Okay, so here we go. Is it a bear? Is it the butterbean farmer Luscious Elmore? Lucius? Luscious? Lucius.
I like Luscious.
I like Luscious too.
Butterbean Luscious.
Who knows? You decide. I'd like to hear from the people what you think. I do think it is probably just that butterbean farmer.
I bet it's just Butterbean.
Mr. Elmore.
Classic Butterbean.
But I really like to believe that there is a lizard man out there who's like, I just want to live my life with my family. I just want to be able to go to the grocery store like normal people.
I just want to be able to vote and pay my taxes like any other normal lizard person.
No, he wants to be able to vote, but he doesn't want to pay taxes, which is why he lives in the swamp. So, yeah, that's the lizard man story for today. I want to know what everybody thinks this lizard man is. Is he man? Is he bear? Is he farmer? A butterbean farmer?
Butterbean farmer?
The fuck is a butterbean farmer?
A farmer of butterbeans.
Yeah. Like, what are butterbeans? Am I stupid?
Imagine they are in the bean family.
Yeah, thank you. I've deduced that much, but like, I've never gone to the store and there's a can of butterbeans. I'm gonna look this up.
Looking up some butterbeans right now. Google, look up butterbeans.
Butterbean.
I imagine they look quite...
Oh, no. Oh, no.
What are butterbeans?
The only search results that come up very first is an American professional boxer and kickboxer.
Oh, the guy with like no neck and he's like a little like bald-headed guy.
And he's
but
very
he's like
big.
so stout. Yeah,
and he's
butterbean.
got very big tatas.
You should watch his fights. He's something else.
Butterbean food?
Boxing footage.
God, you fucking kidding me? They're lima beans. They are lima beans. What, did they have a rebranding in the 90s? Because of Mr. Elmore?
You've tainted our name.
What is the... You know what? I got a lot.
A lot of tabs open all of a sudden.
This says in the UK, they're called butterbeans. In the US, they're called lima beans. I want to know, if you live in the UK, because I know you guys exist, I could see where you're from when you listen to us. Do you have butterbeans? Do you have lima beans? What do you have? Let's talk about this. What do you put on your toast?
Send us your beans.
Send us your beans.
I like your beans. I like your breakfast beans. They're top notch.
They are nice. They're nice beans.
You got to spend like $6 on a can.
Yeah, you don't even know how good you have it. At least in the bean department, I think equally shithole countries, at least England and the US. Great. All right. Well, that's the lizard man for today. Thanks for joining us. I want to hear what your thoughts are. I want to hear about your beans.
Show us your beans. Send me your bean pics.
We'll see you next week.
Put some beans in your shoes and send me your shoes.
Oh my God. This is like Saint Nick.
Drink your
Saint
beans.
Nick comes and he just puts beans in your shoes.
I'll drink your beans on on live.
I'll drink your bean shoes.
Drink your beans.
Your shoe beans. All right, we gotta stop here. Goodbye, everybody. See you next week.
Goodbye.